Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Surbhi Sharma. Here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Thursday, the 12th of March. COVID-19 cases rise to 73 in India. WHO declares outbreak pandemic. Pashtun Baloch facing worst human rights crisis, say activists at UNHRC. And people in northeast India celebrate Yaoshang festival with gaiety. And now for all the details. India on Thursday reported COVID-19 cases have jumped to 73 across the country. This comes a day after New Delhi suspended all existing visas except some categories until April 15th as precautionary measure to contain the spread of COVID-19.
India on Thursday confirmed 73 COVID-19 cases, which includes 56 Indian nationals and 17 foreigners. This comes as India on Wednesday suspended all existing visas except diplomatic, official, UN international organizations, employment and project visas until April 15. The visa-free travel facility for overseas citizen of India holders has also been suspended until the same date.
As of now, 73 cases are confirmed for COVID-19 in the country. 3 of these cases are all from Kerala, have already recovered and been discharged, and other cases are all clinically stable.
The government's decision to suspend the vast majority of visas in a wide-reaching attempt to prevent the spread of coronavirus has been welcomed by Indians.
एक अच्छा कदम है क्योंकि पूरे इंडिया में नहीं बल्कि पूरे विश्व में ये कोरोना वायरस फैल रहा है इसलिए भारत सरकार ने आज ये अच्छा निर्णय लिया है कि 15 अप्रैल तक बाहर के जो टूरिस्ट आ रहे हैं उन पर बंदी लगाई जा रही है.
Meanwhile, the Indian stock market entered bear territory and the blue chip Nifty 50 slipped below the 10,000 mark for the first time in 2 years on Thursday. A day after coronavirus outbreak was declared a pandemic by the WHO and the US suspended travel from Europe, the WHO said that Italy and Iran were now on the front line of the disease and other countries would soon join them.
India exercising its right to reply at the 43rd UNHRC session in Geneva on Wednesday, lambasted Pakistan for peddling its narrative on Kashmir. India said that Jammu and Kashmir has begun its march to peace and prosperity despite Pakistan's repeated attempts to derail the process.
India on Wednesday lambasted Pakistan for peddling its narrative on Kashmir at the United Nations Human Rights Council, remarking that the country cannot mislead the international community on the matter while continuing to use cross-border terrorism as an instrument of state policy against New Delhi. Exercising the right to reply at the 43rd session of the UNHRC in Geneva, Permanent Mission of India Rachita Bhandari said that Jammu and Kashmir has begun its march to peace and prosperity despite Pakistan's repeated attempts to derail the process.
The delegate of Pakistan referred to Jammu and Kashmir, which was, is, and shall forever remain an integral part of India. Jammu and Kashmir has begun its march to peace and prosperity along with the rest of India. This is despite Pakistan's repeated attempts to derail the process, despite Pakistan's active and sustained support to terror groups, and despite Pakistan's pursuit of a malicious disinformation campaign against India.
The Indian diplomat asked Pakistan if it can deny the fact that it is home to as many as 130 UN-designated terrorist and 25 terrorist entities listed by the UN, and that these proscribed individuals have actively campaigned and contested in elections. Pakistan has been racking up the Kashmir issue on the international platforms since the Indian government's move to abrogate Article 370 of the Constitution that accorded special status to Jammu and Kashmir. India has maintained that the move on Kashmir is its internal matter, a stance which has been supported by several countries across the world.
Moving on, Pashtun and Baloch political activists raised the issue of a worsening human rights situation in Pakistan's Pashtun-dominated tribal areas and Balochistan during the UNHRC session in Geneva on Wednesday. Pashtun political activist Fazlur Rahman Afridi on Wednesday highlighted during the UNHRC session in Geneva that Pakistan Army has unleashed a reign of terror against innocent civilians in Pakistan's Pashtun-dominated tribal areas. He expressed concerns over ethnic stereotyping and a sharp rise in extrajudicial killings and enforced disappearances of Pashtuns by Pakistan's state and its security agencies. He also raised questions over the escape of Ehsanullah Ehsan, a former Taliban leader from a Pakistani jail, which he said is indicative of Islamabad's ties with terror groups.
Idris Khatak and Hazrat Naeem Abdul Qayyum alias Gilaman Pashtun, two well-known human rights activists, are allegedly abducted and forcibly disappeared by ISI, while Ehsanullah Ehsan has been allegedly released after VIP hospitality of Pakistan Army.
Meanwhile, Baloch political activist Munir Mengal highlighted that so far development projects like the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor or CPEC have over the years brought death and destruction in Balochistan.
Only for the sake of land needed for CPEC projects, thousands of people has been removed from their houses by force, hundreds of houses were burned, and many has become victim of enforced disappearances or were eliminated.
Activists have also been holding demonstrations during the ongoing UNHRC session in Geneva to demand intervention of the international community over the deteriorating human rights situation in Pakistan. Afghan leader and political rival of President Ashraf Ghani, Abdullah Abdullah, has said that the national unity government ended after his swearing-in ceremony earlier this week. His remarks came on the same day Ghani issued a decree ending the office of chief executive, which was previously held by Abdullah.
Afghan leader and political rival of President Ashraf Ghani, Abdullah Abdullah, in a statement issued on Wednesday, said that the national unity government ended after his swearing-in ceremony and that soon the chief executive of the inclusive government will officially be introduced. Abdullah said that Ashraf Ghani, former president of the National Unity Government, is no longer president and his decrees and orders are invalid. However, Sadiq Siddiqui, a spokesman for the presidential palace, at the press conference on the same day said that President Ashraf Ghani had issued a decree ending the office of chief executive. The chief executive's office was formed by the formation of the National Unity Government in Afghanistan. It was established in 2014 in a power-sharing agreement negotiated to solve an election crisis involving Ghani and Abdullah. While Ghani became president, Abdullah became chief executive. In the recent presidential election, Ghani was named the winner, but Abdullah claimed victory and both men held inauguration ceremonies on Monday. However, the international community has publicly acknowledged Ghani's inauguration and called for unity between the two. This move can be seen as plunging the war-torn country into a new political crisis.
In news from Bangladesh, a massive fire in a slum in Bangladeshi capital Dhaka left thousands of people homeless on Wednesday. No deaths were reported, but at least 4 people, including firefighter, were injured in the incident.
A massive fire destroyed thousands of homes in a slum in Bangladesh's capital city of Dhaka on Wednesday. Residents, many of them now homeless, could be seen joining firefighters to extinguish the fire, which broke out at a slum in Dhaka's Mirpur area on Wednesday morning. Local media claimed about 2,000 houses were burnt and around 10,000 people were left homeless. According to local fire services, no deaths were reported, but at least 4 people, including a firefighter, were injured.
এখানে প্রায় 3000 উপরে ঘরবাড়ি আছে এবং প্রায় 11000 লোক বসবাস করে। এখানে পুরোটাই পুড়ে গেছে, এখানে সবাই অনেকে সর্বস্ব হারিয়ে ফেলছে, কিছুই নেই। এখানে আমারও একটি ঘরবাড়ি আছে, সেটাও ভ্যানিশ হয়ে গেছে। সবাই এখন গাছের নিচে আছে আর কি, সবাই মোটামুটি খুব কষ্টে আছে।
Last year, a massive fire destroyed over 1,000 dwellings in Dhaka's Chalantika slum, leaving thousands homeless.
The 5-day annual fest of Yaoshang is being celebrated with religious fervor, merrymaking and widespread sports and entertainment activities across Imphal city of India's northeastern Manipur province.
A 5-day annual Yaoshang festival was celebrated with religious fervor, merrymaking and widespread sports and entertainment activities across Imphal city of India's northeastern Manipur province. Yaoshang festival celebrates the victory of good over evil and is Manipur province's version of Holi, the festival of colors celebrated across India. The celebrations were held with the ritual burning of Yaoshang, structure made of straw and bamboo, on March 9, a full moon day in which everyone, including young and old, took part and solemnized it with traditional songs and dance performances.
का नियम से अभी तक चल रही है वो 5 दिन वो होली का और कल भी हम होली शुरू हुआ है। आज वो बहुत धूमधाम से बना रही है वो श्री गोविंद जी के मंदिर में ये पेशकारी वो होली खेल रही है।
As part of the annual festivities, several clubs and organizations also participate in different sports events organized to motivate youth to explore their talents in different fields. This year, competitions including football and races were held. The Yaoshang marks the rejuvenation of the spirit of life, and it is celebrated with gaiety and enthusiasm, commemorating the birthday of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, an Indian mystic.
Holi, the festival of colors, heralds the beginning of spring and is celebrated across India with fervor. People in northern Mathura town on Wednesday participated in Dauji Ka Huranga, a popular, passionate celebration marking the end of spring festivities of Holi.
People from across the country gathered in northern India's holy town of Mathura on Wednesday to participate in Dauji Ka Huranga, a popular passionate celebration marking the end of spring festivities of Holi. Devotees in large numbers thronged Mathura's Sri Dauji Maharaj temple, dedicated to Hindu Lord Krishna's elder brother Balram, to celebrate Huranga, an age-old tradition in which men smear color on women and sing provocative songs to gain their attention. Women go on the offensive and tear clothes of men, use it as whip to beat up the menfolk.
साल भर के पाप हो जाते हैं जो हमारे, उनको माता रेवती स्वरूपा को भी फाड़ देती हैं और उनको पीट पीट के मार देती हैं और कहती है कि दाऊ जी महाराज तुम पे आनंद की वर्षा करता रहे और जय मस्ती में मस्त हैं कि दाऊ जी महाराज हमें तो ऐसा ही आनंद दिवामत रहे।
The focus of celebrations is on Balram, as Krishna played Holi with Balram's consort, goddess Revati, on this day. Holi, also known as the Festival of Colors, heralds the beginning of spring and is celebrated across India in a celebration of the triumph of good over evil. Holi is celebrated for 45 days in Mathura, or Bridge as it is known, and the celebrations of the festival conclude with Huranga event.
बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है, फर्स्ट टाइम हम आए हैं, ये बहुत पहला एक्सपीरियंस है बट बहुत एंजॉय कर रहे हैं और हम चाहते हैं सब लोग आए देखें कि हमारा इंडिया का कल्चर है जो वो कितना उभर के आ रहा है।
Thousands of devotees and tourists from across the world throng the Mathura city during Holi every year to watch locals revel in the festivities.
Well, that's the wait within South Asia this evening. Before we conclude, the top stories once again. COVID-19 cases rise to 73 in India. WHO declares outbreak pandemic. Pashtun Baloch facing worst human rights crisis, say activists at UNHRC. And people in northeast India celebrate Yaoshang festival with gaiety. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow. Good night.